Howdy, y'all. I am just want to give you a quick overview of the way our progress reports look. In another video, you'll probably be able to see how to get into here. You'll get a progress report pretty typically every week. Um, but if you'd like to pull them, you can always pull them through PowerSchool, either on the student side or on the parent side. Anyway, I just wanted to quickly go through how to read it. In this case, you won't be able to see this, I hope. Well, I can figure out how to edit it out, but here's some student information. It'll usually have the student's name. It'll also have their student ID number, which you don't typically need, but if you need advanced opportunities, it's there. On the left hand, obviously, there's school information. I'm going to change that phone number to be our new phone number that's accessible, but you'll also be able to see the student's mentor. And we're going to set them up hopefully so you can find their phone number fairly easy, but you can find that on our website. It has the date, which obviously I'm doing this in the summer, so it makes sense. And then this quick note that the actual progress and grades are very often updated on Wednesdays. So there's kind of like this running record of the student's progress percent, and we kind of take a snapshot of that every day. I mean, that goes through our system every day if they're getting something graded, but they get a snapshot picture once a week of what the total overall percentage is for their in progress and mastery and how many courses are completed. So just thought I'd let you know that. The next portion in all the greens is student funds. And so you can see that this particular student has $642 sitting in their account and 5 cents at the moment. And then you'll see when this student earned them. So on 10, 17, 11, 14, and the milestone met. These are a little bit different this next year, but anyway, this student earned $225 once and then $100 later on those different dates. The next section and I'll change this so that there's a label there, but here are some notes, administrative notes, so you can see those. And in this case, on 2/18, this student had something happen with the student learning funds. In this case, it says that was a purchase order created. The check should arrive in 7 to 10 days. And this was a reimbursement that was requested for something that they had purchased, but they'd already had approved. Underneath that, you can see in this case that on the 16th of April, the student learning funds again, student needs to contact Janice Hallinan, who was our administrative assistant for all of these things, for clarification. So in this case, she wrote that it was missing a receipt for another reimbursement. Hopefully that makes sense. The next section is about attendance reporting. And just know that these are marked when we do something to reach out to the student about their attendance or engagement. And these are the dates, and then there's some text reminders. And then when they move up in numbers, that means that there was something done with the account. So in this case, this student no longer had access to using their funds on that date because they weren't in compliance with attendance. And then again, there should be one here that says that it was unfrozen. Needless to say, this is just a hypothetical student, and I put extra things on this account so you can see them. And this may look a little bit different next year, but there's the overall performance section. And this is kind of the ongoing tabulation of things. And so on the left, you can see the dates, and this one's working in backwards for last year. But on the 22nd of May, 2025, the goal was to be at 100% in progress and 100% mastered. At this point, the kid 100% in progress and mastery and then the mastery percent was 75% and completed 6 credits. The next column tells how many topics need to be completed to finish, and then how many need to be submitted on time. And in this case, this student was very behind. And then sometimes there's notices from the mentor. In this case, there's none. So that's kind of like the overall, because our grades aren't based necessarily on each class, but funds are associated with their overall progress for the year. And then underneath, there's a detail of each of the courses. So you can see in this course, this one that says algebra readiness, that this student, and the teacher's name is listed second. You can see that this student had 2 masteries and 1 in progress. And you can see the topic names over here. So you always have access to the details on here. If you aren't ever sure what the mastery level means, there's a little bit of a explanation here at the bottom. But this next year, we're going to start tracking absences, and you can't see that on here, but there will also be a place that says mentor, and the mentor time is a new thing this year, and you'll see if there's been some absences marked up. So that's kind of the overall of the progress report. You can always pull your own, is one thing to remember. It's on PowerSchool, and we'll create another video to show you how to pull your own reports there. And you will get one once a week with an email. And usually in that email, it'll have our master information email, and this will be an attachment. So if you have any questions about this particular aspect of the way you get to communicate with us and we communicate with you, you can always reach out to me. It's corgscot@snakeriver.org. Thanks.